Guys, the winter is coming quicker than you think. It is mid-September right now. It started to get cold. I wore a jacket one day this week, which absolutely pissed me off and also made me scratch my head and go, where in the world did this year go? But what I want to say is this: if you are somebody who has not been listening to me talk about flat fee deals and why it's important that you do flat fee deals and why commission deals are so scary, you are going to be in for a heck of a winter if this is your first year, okay? If you're somebody who's been like, yeah, Nick, that sounds cool, but I don't want to give up profits and I want to do pay-per-lead and all this different stuff, cool. Wait till the winter. Wait for another month. Wait for another 2 months. Wait for another 3 months. Get ready to tighten up your belt. Get ready to cut back on spending. Get ready to start doing syrup sandwiches because it is going to get tight. I did this 2.5, well, it was actually 3 years. I was an idiot and did pay-per-lead deals and SEO deals, and it is a bloodbath. And you know what the worst part is? That's the holidays. That's the time you're supposed to be buying Christmas presents for your kids. That's the time you're supposed to be buying Christmas presents for your lover. That's the time you're supposed to be buying Christmas presents for your spouse. And guess what? It sucks because it's the worst time of year to be losing clients, but it's ironically the time of year you're going to lose clients. So what I'm going to say is this: if you are doing pay-per-lead deals exclusively and you're built on SEO, pay-per-lead, and commission, you better make some changes right now or it's going to get real tight. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get real tight. And if you don't believe me, hit me up in January, hit me up in February, hit me up in March, and if you survive the winter, okay? Number 2, for those of you that have clients, okay? Those of you that sign deals in the last, 90 days or 180 days, right now, September and October is the time. You have the next 6 weeks. You need to be putting all of your current clients into a new contract, okay? You got to do it because even though you've been providing an amazing service and they're never going to cancel, they'll cancel, okay? Things get a little tight, things get a little weird. All of a sudden, they start cutting bills, and as much as you sit there and talk to them and say, dude, you can't cut the bill that's paying the bills. Well, I'm giving you the leads. They don't get it, okay? Not all of them, but most of them do not get it. So, I'm telling you guys right now, you have got to be smart at this time of the year. You have 6 weeks. And here's what I'm going to be doing with all my clients. I am going to be doing everything that I can to get them as many leads as I can for the next 2 weeks until October, okay? If it's already been really, really good, then I'm ready. But if it hasn't and it's just been okay, I'm going to go for the next 2 weeks and get them as many leads as possible so that we end on a good note. And what I mean by end is when I approach them about this agreement, they're like, dude, I don't want to cancel this, okay? Now, if your last couple months have been unreal, you can just go to them automatically and say what I'm going to say. But if you haven't, you need to get them as many leads as possible. Maybe that means you need to start focusing on your GMB. Maybe you need to crank up your ads a little bit. Maybe you need to run ads because you're 100% organic. You got to make this next 2 weeks, you need to make September the best month they've had in the last 6 months, okay? Step 1. Step 2 is you need to call these people and go, hey, this is the ones that are out of contract. Keep in mind. You need to call them and you need to go, hey, the holidays are coming, things are going to get busy. I don't want to be going back and forth, everything else. And so I would love to continue to work with you. And we can lock you in at this price for another year. If you so choose. If you don't, and by the way, here's the pullback. If you don't, no big deal. I'll go find somebody else. But I don't want you to feel like I want to work with somebody else, but I will totally find somebody else if it does not make sense. But I got to have you in. I want to roll with you. I don't want to be waking up Christmas Eve and you're like, hey, I'm out. Okay. So if you want to do this, let's sign into a year. And if they don't do a year, you can do a 6 month. But I want to put this. We're going to lock your rate in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And here's what's cool is because you went and delivered these last 2 weeks. We're talking about on October 1st. The last 2 weeks would be the last 2 weeks of September. Because you delivered, they're going to go, dude, do I really want to give up these leads? Do I really want him to go and sell these to my competitor? Do I really want to check out of this right now? And they're going to look at September numbers and go, yeah, I don't. And they're going to be the most likely, the most convinced to re-sign October, the first week in October. You need to set aside everything else. You need to make those phone calls. You need to get those contracts signed in October, at least 6 months, preferably a year. And if you do that, then you're going to have October, November, December, January, February, March. When the contract ends, you are just going to be finishing up one of the other best months of the year, which is March. So guys, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this is a marathon with these business owners, and the reason why you do the flat fee is because, you know, it's a little bit slower in the winter, it's better in the spring, but you have to be smart, because if you don't do this, you're going to forget, and you're going to get this call from your client on, you know, whatever, Thanksgiving, and they're going to say, hey, I want to pause. And you're going to have that conversation, and you're either going to be able to convince them that, hey, there's no pausing, or, you know, they're just gonna walk away. And I've done this enough times where I've, you know, every year I forget that one or two clients, and all of a sudden things dip a little bit, and I either have to really resell them on the whole thing, or I lose them. Okay, so right now, the next next 2 weeks, the only thing that you should be worried about is how do you get them as many leads as possible? How do you get these clients as many leads as possible so that you can re-sign them? Because if you don't, it's going to be a long winter. And I'm telling you right now, I already hate the cold. So guys, go do it. Spend the next 2 weeks, ramp things up. Let's see if I can back in as I'm talking. Ramp things up, and let's go re-sign these customers into a contract. Let's go.